Hello everyone, Vaida from Bookbinder's Buddy is here. Today we will do a lazy pocket book. This time we won't use Bookbinder's Buddy web application, we will simply make a small notebook with green and blue pages and playful metal element on the cover. Actually, I made this book for my 9-year-old son. He wanted a new notebook for the upcoming summer holidays, so I was happy to get to work. Now you can see how I prepare light green and light blue pages for this notebook. Since this whole project is made from scraps and leftovers and I had different size pieces of paper, I made them all the same by simply tearing off the edges. I like the rough torn edges of the pages, and even if it gives a book a rough look, it also makes it more interesting, more playful and has more charm. I also had the idea of tearing the pages of the book the way so that the first pages have more wavy, heavily torn edges, while the last pages of the book are smoother and have only slight signs of tearing. When all the pages have been torn at the edges the way I wanted them, it was time to make the holes for sewing. I made 4 pairs of holes and it was 1.5 centimeter between each pair. I had 10 pieces of green and blue paper, which is 20 sheets when folded in half, which is 40 pages of the book. And I found some nice end papers and I punched holes in them as well. I wanted the end papers to be color matched with both green and blue. And in total I had 12 signatures. When it was time to sew, I measured the length of my thread using the formula. The number of signatures, which is 12, times the length of the page edge. Now, as I mentioned, this book will be for my son who is planning to take it on every forest hike he will do, and he will do a lot of hiking. So I decided I needed extra reinforcement strips on the spine of this book. They were strong linen strips, and instead of sewing French style, I chose to stitch only through the strips. So, in the end, the signatures of this book will be held together by the linen ribbon, which will give the book more flexibility when open. Now I'm cutting off the ends of the strip because it is obviously too long. I like to keep it longer at first, but after I always cut it off. Of course, you have to kept like 1 centimeter on each side. I would like to get your attention here. Then it comes time to glue. Only the sections without linen strip should be glued. The linen strip itself should not be covered with glue. And, of course, squeeze everything well with clamps and leave it to dry for at least 24 hours. Now it is time to make a book cover. We need 2 pieces of cardboard, 2 millimeters thick and slightly bigger in size than dimensions of our book. I use a special book cover material to cover this book. It is not the linen material for book covers, which normally has a paper-like inner side that most professional bookmakers like to work with. And it is not the textile that other bookmakers like to work with. It is something in the middle, a material like thick velvet or barcode. It is quite difficult to work with, especially in smaller dimensions, but since it is a scrap project and I had a good piece of this material, which is almost ideal in size for a cover of this book, I chose it. I had a bag of tiny multicolored pieces leftovers from past projects. I started putting these pieces together, looking for the right combination of shapes and colors, but for some time now I can't resist the rusty metal elements that I love to attach to book covers, and it happened this time as well. And that's when the real creative journey began. Until this point, all work is more or less automatic. I do it almost without thinking, but once I reach the stage of decorating the cover, everything changes. So I found a piece of textile that I liked, which matched in color with the color of the piece for a cover, and the decorative metal element I chose, which looks like a face of a cat. So I sewed a piece of textile. I glued on a metal element. I sewed it for extra strength. The cat started looking a bit like an Indian. And finally, I sewed on a yellow piece of textile which will be a spine of this book. As if I didn't have enough sewing yet, I decided that the back cover of this book also needs some attention, so I sewed a small piece of thick fabric there as well. And now all we need is good glue. I used professional bookbinder's glue with archival qualities, and I glued the cardboard. I cut the corners. I applied glue. I folded and clamped them with clamps. And I had to wait for 24 hours or more. The next day, I had to take apart the ends of the linen strips so that then I'll glue the book block to the cover. It won't be seen too much. Why do I use double-sided tape? When I make the end papers from thinner paper, sometimes the water in the glue and the humidity in the environment causes the end papers to curl up a bit. Double-sided tape helps a lot to prevent this by forming a thin layer of plastic between glue and the paper and preventing it from wrinkling. So, I glued this linen thread well. I placed the book block inside the cover. I stuffed it well with lots of heavy books, and I waited for 24 hours to enjoy my work. Thank you for watching and being with me. This small, simple and lovely project can easily be repeated by almost anyone. I also invite you to watch my course on Skillshare platform, where I created a beautiful book of Hamlet by William Shakespeare. See you next time, and bye.